Welcome back to Section 5, Lesson 2. Here we're going to be solving some word problems using substitution and elimination. Now in this first example, it says Jerry's deciding between two streaming services and finds some specials online. The first offer says that there's no sign-up fee and you pay only $20 per month. Whereas the other offer has a sign-up fee of $30 and you pay only $15 per month. We have to create a system of equations that represents each offer and then algebraically determine the solution. So let's start by defining some variables. I'll let C be the total cost and M represent the number of months. So now for the first offer, you pay only $20 per month. So we can write that as C equals 20 times M, while the second offer we can write as C equals 30 plus 15M, since they have a $30 sign-up fee. So now both of these equations are set up nicely for substitution or elimination, but I'm going to choose substitution here. I'm going to replace the C in the bottom equation with 20M. So now when I do that, I get 20M equals 30 plus 15M. Now I want to combine my m's together. So let me bring the 15M over to the left-hand side, giving me 20M minus 15M equals 30. Now combining those m terms together, I would get 5M equals 30. Now let me divide both sides by 5, so I can get an m value of 6. So now let's find C. I'll replace this m right here with 6. So C would equal 20 times 6, or 120. So we have our solution of 6, 120. Now for this situation, what does the solution of 6, 120 represent? Well, this would mean that after 6 months, the cost for both plans will be the same price. They'll both be $120. So now let's say Jerry plans to use a streaming service for only 4 months. Which one should he choose? Well, for the first offer, we just need to multiply 20 by 4, which would give us $80. And for the second offer, we would say 30 plus 15 times 4, which is 30 plus 60, which would equal $90. So now comparing the prices, we should say that Jerry should choose the plan with no sign-up fee, as that would be cheaper for 4 months. Now for example 2, it says Jerry wants to start watching his favorite show with his friend Ralph. Now Ralph has already watched 10 episodes and will watch 3 more each day. Jerry decides that he can watch 4 episodes per day. So when will Jerry catch up to Ralph so that they can finish watching the show together? Use a system of equations to determine the answer. So I'm going to let E be the number of episodes watched and D be the day number. So let's let the first equation be the number of episodes Ralph has watched. Well, he already watched 10 and he watches 3 more per day. So we can write that as E equals 10 plus 3D. Now Jerry hasn't watched any yet at all, so he would be E equals 4 times D. Now this is set up similarly to the last example where we did substitution. Let's say I wanted to do elimination here. So to start, I'm going to rearrange the first equation so that my D variable is first, and I'll put the other one underneath, so now everything is lined up. Most examples we looked at previously, the variables were always on the left and the constant was on the right. But it doesn't always have to be that way. As long as everything is lined up vertically, then you're good. So now I can just eliminate E by simply subtracting these 2 equations. So E take away E is 0. 3D take away 4D equals negative D. And then 10 take away nothing is 10. Now I'm just going to bring the negative d over to the left-hand side, so we get d equals 10. So now let's replace that right here for d, so we can figure out what e is. So e is just going to be 4 times 10, which is 40. So what does that mean? Well, after 10 days, they both would have watched 40 episodes. So at this point, they have watched the same amount. So then they can start watching the show together after that. Now for this last example, it says Jerry and Ralph go to the store to buy some snacks for the show that they're going to watch together. Jerry buys 2 cans of lemonade and 3 packs of trail mix for $15. Ralph buys 3 cans of lemonade and 2 packs of trail mix for $12.50. Use a system of equations to determine the price of each item. So to do that, let's let C be the price of each can of lemonade and B be the price for each bag of trail mix. So now we can represent Jerry's purchase with this equation here. 2 times C plus 3 times B equals 15. Now for Ralph, we would have 3 times C plus 2 times B equals $12.50. Now what are we going to use to solve this system? Now in the first 2 examples, you could use either substitution or elimination just as easily. Here I would avoid substitution as I don't have any variables with a coefficient of 1, so that will require using fractions. So instead, I'm going to use elimination. And in particular, I'm going to eliminate C. So I can multiply the first equation by 3 and the second equation by 2 to make the coefficient of each C to be 6. So now, what do we get if we multiply the first equation by 3? We would have 6C plus 9B equals 45. And for the second equation, we would have 6C plus 4B equals 25. So now we just need to subtract these 2 equations because 6C take away 6C is 0. So now C is eliminated. Now 9B take away 4B is 5B, and 45 take away 25 is 20. Now let's divide both sides by 5. When we do that, we get a B value of 4. Now you can plug that into either equation. I'm just going to plug it into the first equation to give me 2C plus 3 times 4 equals 15. Now 3 times 4 is 12. And if I bring that over to the right-hand side and then subtract it from 15, I would get 2C equals 3. Now let's divide both sides by 2. And when I do that, I get 1.5. So now I found the price of each item. So let's say that each can of lemonade is $1.50 and each package of trail mix is $4. So hopefully you're more comfortable now solving systems of equations using substitution and elimination. You can now move on to the next activity in this lesson.